Well, folks, it is time to separate those who will stand from those who will fall. That's right. Welcome back to Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai. We have declared our republic, and it is only a matter of time before basically every faction on the map declares war on us. So things are about to get spicy and dicey. So it's gonna get real crazy real fast. The Shoshu are now the Imperial Vanguard, and they're going to be soon enough declaring war on us. They're not going to put up with us. We're probably about to have public order problems, I'm thinking, because we had been having imperial leanings, but let's take a look here. Distance to invaders, tax burden, non-clan allegiance, modernization. Yeah, I mean, see, we've got all kinds of public order issues that are probably about to be at hand. So we're going to be facing that. Hopefully, not a ton of rebellions, but I mean, we're going to be in the thick of it, folks. We're going to be in the thick of it. The Tosa are going to be the least of our problems. I'm pretty sure that Shoshu are about to become a massive problem, and then I think we're about to have a lot of public order issues as well. Let's end our turn, just kind of see where things take us. We get to a few of your comments here. Nathan Adams says, Air, you know that the Emperor is preparing to have his minions execute Order 66. He's just waiting for the right time to do so. Yeah, like this. Oh boy. So see, the Saga are going to declare war on me, and here comes the point at which the Choshu make their choice. And something tells me that I don't know. Let's see where this is going to go.
Talking is done.
Yeah, see, the Choshu refused to join our side. Oh boy, here it goes. It's going to get crazy. Hope you're more prepared for it than the Jedi were. No, we're actually not all that particularly prepared for it. Yeah, see, the Choshu turned against me and have already started bombarding me. So the Great War has kicked off. And we're also going to have lost a lot of trade income, and we'll lose more. So lots of people breaking trade agreements, joining against us. So we are now in a rather large war for survival. Let's see what else we've got back here as far as this army goes. I'm going to go ahead and move some of these extra troops forward and put them into the army with my daimyo. We're going to need all the strength we can get. So we've got some pretty nice troops here. Not all that many of them, but pretty strong. We don't have an artillery school back here, and that may end up being a mistake that I don't live to regret. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go ahead and begin training some more troops. Get some saber cavalry, and we need to move this army forward. There was a Choshu fleet bombarding me here. It's within range to attack. We should probably go ahead and destroy it. We're going to be just non-stop tortured at this point by bombardments and all kinds of issues. We've got some of our citadels, though, with some Gatling towers in a few places. We don't have it all over the place. Yeah, look, our port here got shredded. Put some repairs in, so we're going to need to get started. We've got a lot to do. We're going to have to stretch ourselves in terms of budget. It would be good to finish killing the Tosa, though. To be fair, I could ignore the Tosa and send my main army back in order to fight the Choshu on their main positions, which I may do that because the Tosa are of much less concern to me at the moment. Like, if they came and retook their territory, that would be a far less concern to me. Their fleet fled away from ours. Not entirely surprised. Let's head back to our port over here. Try and repair some of the damage that was done, though I don't expect it to stay repaired. Yeah, we've got our work cut out for us, folks. Do we have any trade agreements left? Nope, the whole map turned against us. Okay, well, at least we know that this is where our income is bottoming out for the moment. So that's good. We're not going to be in the negative or anything. But we are most assuredly going to have some pretty severe issues with bombardments trade routes being blocked, all that kind of stuff. Did we put a dry dock in here? We did. I'm recruiting some troops there. I think I'm going to go to this port and recruit, see, an armored frigate. Let's get a couple of armored Kasugas and a torpedo boat. Yeah, maybe 2 torpedo boats. And we'll guard... Our trade routes still do go to the foreign powers, so there's that. And we'll want to maintain that. And we're going to need some more fleets anyway. Gee, yeah, we may have to give up these settlements. I don't know if we can hold these or not. I don't know. We could just keep attacking the Tosa, and then... Yeah, well, it looks like we will. We've got it. We've got company. Here comes the bombardments. It is going to be non-stop bombardment action. Raiding of trade routes. The only way that we're going to get out of this, folks, is to wipe the map clean. Like, we're just going to have to wipe it out. It's going to be the only way this is going down. Suo has mounting unrest. That is not great. Bitchu has mounting unrest. Aki has mounting unrest. Hyuga has mounting unrest. Fantastic. So here comes the mounting unrest. And we don't really have armies in place to stop it. Got these places that are adding happiness, but I think what it's going to be caused by, let's see, modernization, resistance to non-clan allegiance. Tax burden. I think it's from where we've switched over. Yeah, independence. See, it's because of this right here. People were pro-emperor, and we're going to have to survive the switch here. So that is going to be our challenge at the moment. Let's get into some of these places. And, like, for instance... see if we can keep a couple of these from rebelling. It's long enough to hold our own. We're going to lose some money, but I'm not desperate for money at this exact moment. It's definitely going to hurt, though. Oops, clicked the wrong one. Let's go here. There we go. Yeah, we can survive this at the moment and still make a little bit of money. It's not good, but, you know, like I said, if it helps us while we make the transition over to independent from pro-imperial, then it will have been worth it. Pretty large enemy force here. They have Armstrong guns. Wow. So we've got a force that somewhat matches our capability. I say somewhat because I find it unlikely that they're going to be quite as good as us. We get extra accuracy to all units. Ships, naval fire support, extra melee. Or no, that's charge bonus. Broadside damage. Repression, income from looting. Replenishment rate is increased, and campaign movement range is increased if we get down here to this skill. But we're not high enough stars yet, so we can pick whatever we want, honestly, at this point. Naval's night battles? That'd be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and take that and get night battles. And then let's get the extra accuracy here. Morale of everyone under his command. Repression and instills fear in enemy units. Reduces morale. This one's probably a little better. I don't plan to have my bodyguard up in action where that's going to be needed very often, but you never know when the situation might call for it. Let's get our agent here. Put him in this stack. Train troops. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and attack the enemy. It looks like, wow, they have 3 Armstrong guns. We're just going to have to hope mine are better. We definitely have a qualitative advantage with their troops, But 3 Armstrong guns, despite not having the chevrons and training mind do, is still a little bit worrisome, so let's fight this. Alright, welcome to the battlefield. The Tosa army is in the defending position, of course, because I attacked them. So they are going to be sitting back and hoping that I will come to them. They do have superior range firepower with 3 Armstrong guns and 2 wooden cannons to my only 2 Armstrong guns. However, we're going to hope that the AI's positioning is lacking, and so far it looks that way. They're already moving their Armstrong guns around. However, their wooden cannon did open fire on me. Now, a wooden cannon is typically no match for an Armstrong gun, but I got absolutely screwed by the AI there, and their wooden cannon landed all of its shots right on top of one of my gun crews and destroyed the gun, so that's a fat bunch of BS if I've ever seen it. The wooden cannon usually can't hit the broadside of a barn, but it managed to land right on my artillery crew, and I narrowly avoided more losses there, so I did not expect to be taking losses to a wooden cannon, and this battle is not starting well for me. I have lost an artillery piece and its ammunition to a filthy wooden cannon. So I'm going to turn around and open fire on the wooden cannon just as quickly as I can and hope that my Armstrong guns, using their superior technology, can succeed here. But of course my initial shots missed. Now I did get a hit there, but remember that I've got a tier 7 Armstrong gun that's got all kinds of buffs, and mine missed, theirs hit, you know, and look, another gun crew goes down. So far things going swimmingly for me. I'm literally being outgunned by an old wooden cannon. I guess at this point the Total War Gods decide that maybe they should stop cheating me so hard, or else I'm going to figure it out. But anyway, the cannon's still firing, and right now my butthole was clenched because I saw that shot coming in super close. I nearly lost another gun. However, my Armstrong guns managed to land some devastating hits there and finally routed the wooden cannon of all things, which I did not expect to be major adversary in this battle, but it is routed, and at least for now I have an opportunity. Their Armstrong guns are still moving all around and haven't unlimbered. So like this gun has not unlimbered here, and I have an opportunity to destroy it. It's just inside my range. This is at the very outer edge of my range. If the AI were to unlimber their guns right now, I thought they were doing there for a moment, I would be in big trouble, but they keep repositioning. I'm not really sure why they're doing this, so I'm going to use my guns to try and gain some advantage. For the moment, you can see they've got their gun moving across their formation. I'm going to continue to hopefully fire at it, but again, it's at the edge of my range, and I'm not getting very lucky at scoring a ton of really solid hits over there. However, I mean, look at those shots landed right on the horses, but apparently the horses are invulnerable, so no damage. So even my shots that look like they're landing didn't do it. So I switched over to shrapnel shot, hoping to get some better hits here. And look, that one lands all over the target. Didn't do anything at first, but finally did destroy a gun. So I've at least taken out one gun out of their three artillery pieces that are remaining. Again, more hits, but the damage came late for some reason. It's interesting. So there's another gun down, so this is good. I'm regaining some ground that I had lost initially. It looks like 2 guns down now over here. And you can see the bombardment's going to continue, so it'll be my hope that I can weaken their Armstrong guns, force them forward, bring my troops. My troops, by the way, are all hidden in the woods. I couldn't have the risk of their Armstrong guns absolutely pounding the crap out of my troops, because 3 Armstrong guns do tremendous damage to my troops, even in a very short period of time, and I wasn't willing to risk that. So right now I'm only risking my Armstrong guns and keeping my troops hidden away in the woods at a safe spot. You can see one of their Armstrong guns is now routing, so the fight is actually now even in terms of number of guns on the field, but it's uneven in the sense that the AI is too stupid to unlimber their guns here for some reason. I think it's because they don't see enough targets, or I don't know what the reasoning is here, but the AI is not unlimbering its weapons, and they are taking some brutal bombardments as a result. Though the downside is this will use quite a bit of my ammunition as well. However, it's worth it if we can clear the field of enemy artillery, especially elite artillery like this. We'll just kind of continue to watch here, let you all enjoy the long-term bombardment. We haven't had anything like this so far in the campaign, in terms of me having to trade artillery fire with someone. So it was not expected. I was trying a fire at ground order here, but my cannons weren't having it for some reason. So I went ahead and just had to give them attack order over there. And yeah, there comes another bombardment, and we scored an excellent hit there. 2 guns down. And this forces the AI to attack, and it looks like they're actually attempting to unlimber their guns finally here. So they finally unlimbered, but not until their crew was already wavering. Here comes yet another volley, and right before they could fire, I shatter them. So fortunately for me, I did not have to take a single volley off of enemy Armstrong crews, so very fortunate. So at this point, all of their guns are destroyed, and the enemy is going to be forced to march across the battlefield under artillery fire. Now, granted, I'm down 2 guns because of what their wooden cannons did, but still I've got 6 guns bombarding them. And at this point, as they move forward, I should be scoring a lot of good hits because they're going to be coming into range. Now, I am moving my troops down out of the woods now so that we can fight on the open ground. I don't have to move my guns. I've got my sharpshooters on the left, my line infantry in the middle. I even have some black bears in this fight, which we haven't seen yet, so here's my black bear infantry. Alright, so my infantry moves into position. They've got excellent open field firing positions. I'm going to be executing a kneel fire, which is where I should be able to increase my firepower significantly, meaning that, you know, my second line can fire as well. So I should be able to lay down an unbelievably effective barrage onto the enemy troops as they approach. I'm going to take these sharpshooters momentarily and spread them into a loose formation so they can stand off better against line troops. Typically, you don't want them standing off against line troops. You want them picking from maximum range. But at this point, I'm not terribly worried because the enemy troops are so poor in quality that I just don't see a whole lot of worry. Let's take the view in from the Tosa perspective at this point. See over here that barrage begins on their saber cavalry, and the amount of fire is absolutely, I mean, insane. Just look at that double line fire, and then with the way my men reload, it is going to be coming hot and heavy. So let's take a look at the kneel fire drill over here so you all can see it. What it looks like when they fire. See the front line kneeling there. And away they go. So I'm going to be getting essentially double the firepower of the enemy across the same length of formation. See my black bears fighting, and already the enemy line has taken just absolutely egregious losses over here. And the only place where they're not dying as quickly is where my sharpshooters are at, because the sharpshooters cannot do a kneel fire. So there's a lot less firepower coming from them. It's also a smaller unit. And they were attempting to melee charge me there, but I'm going to intercept them with my own levy. Make sure that they can't charge me. And then this unit gets absolutely shredded here the last second. It will connect into melee, but it's not going to last long. And the enemy forces are going to be utterly routed. They continue to take Armstrong gunfire, and I was unashamedly targeting their general with my artillery crews. And it is just an absolute massacre at this point, this is ultimately what I had hoped for, was for the Tosa to be forced forward and then to just face the wrath of my far superior line. And that's exactly what happened. So a critical victory for us. I was very worried about that situation because I didn't know how we were going to outgun 3 Armstrong guns. The AI totally blundered their use though. And really the only damage we took was from the wooden cannons, which is not what I would have expected. And we captured one. I'll probably just disband it because it's mostly useless. But yeah, our Armstrong guns still coming in clutch, but our line infantry, I think you all saw the power of the kneel fire there. They get all that extra firepower. They were just absolutely brutalizing the enemy army, so that was a huge victory for us and a decisive victory for our forces. However, we'll need to disband. I don't need that wooden cannon in my army. We're going to need to march back towards our holding here because it's still quite unstable. But the Tosa pushed back with heavy losses there, which is great. I think I'm going to bring... I don't know what to do, to be honest. It is going to be absolutely wild everywhere. And I can't raise another army at the moment. And honestly, even just the Navy that we have coming up will probably tilt us over the edge in terms of upkeep cost. So really not ideal for us at the moment. So Definitely not a good situation to be in. But we might as well push an army forward and try and get aggressive, because we're not going to gain anything by sitting on our butts. So I'll just go ahead and start marching troops forward. And we'll see what happens. It'd be absolutely wild for the next few turns. Like, absolutely wild. Go a lot of different ways. So I think I'm going to bring this fleet. I mean, these guys aren't going to fight me, or else I would go engage and destroy them. So I'll bring my fleet. Actually, let's go over here. Wonder if we can get to Sanuki with our army. We can at least bombard some of their crap. I don't know if it'll do as much good as it does for me. Yeah, the public order is going to be an issue. I should have had more buildings to boost public order. That would have been the right way to prepare for this, is to just be sitting on a ton of buildings to provide public order. And then being able to use that to our advantage. Look at this. This guy's coming in right behind me trying to bombard. Just hope our income stays in the positive. That's all we can really ask for the next few turns. Just hopefully keeping that income in the positive. Because we are going to take some damage. We've got to make this transition to independence. See, now we've got mounting unrest in Awa, but that's okay. We're there. We can cover this. There is this little rebel force here. Let's see if we can... It's an enemy Armstrong gun. Boy, it'd be sweet if we could capture that. Something tells me we won't. Yeah, we didn't. Dang, that would have been awesome. Let's get our forces back in Awa. That'll calm them down for at least a moment. It'll only be a moment. We're still managing, if only just. Suo has mounting unrest, despite the facts they're exempted from taxes. Yeah, this is where it's gonna get ugly, folks. This is where it's gonna get ugly. Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Let's see here. We got our Gatling towers at these couple places, right? Construction, yeah, okay, we got Gatling towers. We're about to finish pretty large citadels. We've got a garrison. It's not a great one, but we've got some troops that can help us. Let's upgrade our geisha while we're here before we forget. Hey, nobles. Okay, some of these places I might be able to defend against rebels, but we'd still have them there and they would tear up a bunch of our other settlements. But I mean, we are running on the edge here, folks. Things are about to get really dangerous, and we don't want to lose some of our key settlements here. Bichu is our artillery school and is quite important for us. I wonder if I should send some garrison over there. Would it do any good? Grab some levies. I'm gonna move some garrison that direction. Now Bizen's unhappy. There won't be any way to win this, folks. This is gonna be ugly. This is gonna be ugly. Oh gosh, I was not prepared for this. We were not prepared for this. Al the Molfar says, "Hey, Eric, look what happens when they come up over the ridge." Me, oh, I watched that Waterloo movie. That's right. Thanks for being a channel supporter, Al. But we are about to run into the negative here, too. I think when that fleet completes, we'll be in the negative, so I'm going to have to unexempt some of these provinces from taxes. We're just going to have to bite the bullet and risk the rebellions. Bungo is going to be attacked. I'm pretty sure I have Gatling towers here. So I think this is a mistake. So let's fight this battle. The defense of Bungo has begun. I've got some of my troops still up in the citadel area of the castle. and they're going to be firing down from the walls into the second level. At the second level, I've got troops defending my Gatling Tower, and I'm going to learn a couple of things in this battle, and I'll cover those as we go. Not that I'm going to be ruining the ending for you. The enemy troops are moving forward. They've got some quality troops here. They've got some White Bears. They got some Choshu Imperial Vanguard Infantry here. And they've got more White Bear Infantry. They've got Kihatai. So they have some very dangerous units that are going to be moving towards me, and I'm not exactly looking forward to. We're going to see whether or not my Gatling Towers are worth their weight here. You can see I'm already a little disappointed because it hasn't fired. But there, I would start to get just a couple of random shots from the Gatling Tower. It could be because the enemy units are at kind of like a weird angle, or partly on one tier or the other. I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, I'm going to move my spear levy forward to intercept this general, or actually, is that a saber cavalry? That's a saber cavalry that was coming up. I didn't want them to get to me in melee too quickly. Now you can see that the Gatling Tower is firing, but its rate of fire is depressingly slow. And I'm not really sure why it's so slow. It hasn't done a whole lot, and the enemy is all bunched up here. I do have some solid firing positions, pretty good kill box, and I'm going to put some more units in here and kind of hope that that Gatling Tower wakes up. There are arrows firing from it, but there are also shots being fired from it. At least I'm pretty sure there are. I heard them during the battle. You kind of hear like random shots coming from it. It's not very impressive so far, I have to say. I may have to look for a mod that improves it if this is all that it does. But nonetheless, I am able to continue to position, and I'm going to cause the enemy some pretty big losses here. Their White Bears are just charging at me in melee. Unfortunately for me, the Gatling Tower gets uncaptured here. My general is getting a few pot shots in as we go, but I got to be very careful with my general. And here, the Gatling Tower begins to be recaptured, so hopefully I can open fire with it again. I'm going to use my general to try and keep it captured. I feel like that it is getting me a few kills. It's kind of random. You can see the shots just kind of randomly loosing out of it, and then there's also some arrow fire coming down from it. It's not been terribly impressive. I was hoping the Gatling Tower was going to do quite a bit more. But nonetheless, it's giving me a good place to fight from. I think if I were to learn the lesson, I would have taken some initial shots from these walls, then fallen back and letting the tower and my men fight here, because I've taken a few more losses than I would have liked to.
Your victory is close, sir.
However, we are finding some success. The enemy is taking very heavy losses here, and they are being driven back, and we are going to succeed. There, the Gatling Tower was not quite as devastating as it should have been, but it works. It works. So we lost a levy infantry and a spear levy garrison, but we managed to hold the line and hang on to our territory there, dealing a loss to the Choshu Imperial Vanguard, which is good. Dealing them losses is better than me losing. However, I got the feeling that we've got some losing in our future before we get some winning in our future. I should have been more careful about not triggering Realm Divide and got myself better prepared, because I am not appropriately prepared at the moment, and it is gonna get real ugly before it gets better. I do mean real. Oh, you know what I could have done? Taken the railroad. Like, I just walked past my railroad, marching all the way back to Suo. Sometimes I impress even myself with the stupidity level. Well, it looks like we had a couple of, let's see, Mounting Ores and Osumi. That's not great. We could take some of these places. So do I risk it? Could try and get a general over here.
Yes, my lord.
We just went in the negative, so we can't keep exempting everybody from taxes. Izen, I believe, has Gatling Tower, so I'll risk the rebellion there just to put us back in the positive. Now, let's see how we're doing in terms of... Well, we still got a long road to go until we flip out of this non-clan allegiance stuff. Woo! Yeah, we've got Got some work to do. We've got some work to do. Yeah, see, independence is growing here. We've got all kinds of foes at hand. There is a Choshu Imperial Vanguard fleet here. Okay, yeah, we got a lot of work to do. Like I said, this is going to be getting ever worse before it gets any better. In fact, I'm going to need these troops back here now because Bitchu is calming down, but we're going to need the extra garrison there. We're running in the negative. It would be good to free up some of our... Yeah, I don't even know if we have the capability to free up these trade ports or to stop these bombardments, so part of me wonders whether it's worth keeping the upkeep on that fleet. It probably isn't. Let's keep moving these forces forward. If we can get the fight into their territory, that would also be handy. Yeah, it's going to be a long road here, folks. It's going to be a long road. Anyway, that's all the time I got for this episode. Hope you all enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll see you soon with some more action in the Satsuma Republic campaign.